All right, I forgot something. So, okay, so when you guys are, elevating in vibration, right? Your vibration level heightens, right? You go through these transformations, okay? Now, you're also practicing, when you do that, each, oh, golly, don't want me to say this, bit my lip. At each level, you have to learn how to balance your vibration, right? And keep it balanced, right? So you will be thrown off balance a lot, right? And you have to find your way back to that center, okay? And eventually, you'll do it enough times to where, you know what I'm saying, you cannot be moved, right? They might be able to shake, you know what I'm saying, your building, right? Your foundation, but it will not be moved, right? Okay, it will not be moved. Okay, so that's one of the reasons you have to go through these strenuous tests, right? They're not to destroy you, they're not to defeat you. Okay, they're to make you stronger. 111 on the time. All right. Okay, so if you are, the best way or the easiest way that I, bring myself back to the center of myself to balance, right? Well, my mind might try to go off in a different direction. It doesn't do it so much anymore today, but it used to, right? Is I remember what the truth is, first of all, right? I remember what's true, okay, about the situation I'm in, about who I am, about who I belong to, okay? I remember what is true. 144 on the time, right? That's why God gives words, right? Since his prophets to give words, because sometimes people, it could kind of, you can forget. You know what I'm saying? You can forget, right? Going through all the things that you go through, that's why the things that you go through are, can act as a distraction, right? The enemy uses it as a distraction. Oh, look at, uh, you know, the area you're lacking in. Look, you don't have enough money to pay your rent, right? Or what are you gonna do? You know what I'm saying? Or this and that got cut off. What are you gonna do? You're gonna panic. Oh, what if you become homeless? Or what if you lose everything? And what if this and what if that and what if this, right? Things that haven't even happened to you, right? The enemy will try to get you to focus on them. Because if you focus on them, then they will happen to you. Do you get what I'm saying? 2, 3, 4 on the timer. Okay? So the battleground is your mind. That's the battleground. Okay? We wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, right? Spiritual wickedness in high places. Okay? This is not a hand to hand battle, it's a spiritual battle. Okay, even though sometimes we might have to end up, tapping somebody's ass, right, throughout life. But, it's a spiritual battle. Okay? Your battleground is the mind and fighting for control of it. You remember when Lucifer and Archangel Michael was fighting over Moses' body? Confirmation 3, 2, 1 on the timer. When they were fighting over Moses' body, okay? All right? Do not allow any man to steal your crown. Your mind. Your mind. Okay? Because if the enemy has your mind, it's over. All right? So do not give in to the enemy trying to poison your mind. Plant seeds of doubt. Be careful what you watch. Especially if you're early, in your spirit, in your spiritual awakening, be careful what you consume. Be careful what you eat, put in your vessel. Okay? Be careful what you watch, putting in your vessel. Be careful what you listen to, putting in your vessel. Okay? All right? And when you're led to something, when you feel a feeling that you just feel like you should follow it. All right? Follow it. Okay? When you think you hear something, listen to it. Don't explain it away. Oh no, I'm tripping. Or no, you're not. No, you're not. Why do you think people couldn't hear God for so long? Because they explain it away. Like, no, that couldn't be. Like, no, that couldn't be, right? Plus, they're blocked from hearing God. Why? Because of all of the unhealed, unhealed, 444 on the timer, all of the unhealed trauma. That's speaking. So, of course, you can't hear the Most High, right? Your trauma speaking louder than Most High. 456 on the timer, right? Okay, so And then when you do hear the Most High, or when you hear your spirit team, well, it's a difference because the Most High's voice, it, you cannot mistake the Most High's voice, first of all, okay? It's usually, subtle, right? Small, still, right? Unless, a person's in trouble, and then, you don't want to feel that part. You don't want to feel that part, okay? I'll just tell you that. But it might sound like a lot because I feel some of you guys are getting overwhelmed with me telling you this. It may sound like a lot, but it's not, right? It's not, okay? Just do what you can do, and do your best. All right, do your best, and don't ignore the nudges. Don't ignore, what spirit is bringing across your visual. Okay, pay attention to the details. Pay attention to the small things that you would usually ignore. Okay, numbers, signs, synchronicities. Okay, a feeling. All right, an energy. Just pay attention to it. Okay, zone in on it. All right, all right. I love y'all, beloved. Be safe. All right, later. Peace.